Hi there. Well, I'm coming to you this evening to announce the release of the second volume of Newfoundland Ghost Stories, Haunted Towns Volume 2. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit, give you some teasers on the kind of stories that are in it, and hopefully you will enjoy the intriguing, creepy, mystifying stories in this collection. They were collected from people in Newfoundland and Labrador, as well as people living away, and they embody a series of themes that will be most interesting. I will talk about a few of them. Like I said, they embody a lot of occurrences involving different happenings, and they're all true. Some of them happened recently. A lot of those stories, by demand, are modern, meaning that they happened within the last decade, and even earlier than that. They go back a few decades. A few of them are kind of legendary that were handed down, but a lot of them are modern because I was responding to a demand for modern stories. So there's modern stories, and this is modern as you can get. So I will go over a few of them. I'll go over the titles and pick your interest so you can delve further into the collection. Well, I guess the most recent inspired event was the Snowmageddon storm last winter, 2020. And there is a story in this collection called The Guardian Angel of Snowmageddon, where a lady was saved from certain death, by what you can only attribute to a guardian angel or some other world entity that was not of this world. So that's a story from a local resident here. It's a true story. There is a story from a couple who visited St. Pierre, and they wanted to go to St. Pierre, for the fascination of the place, and they stayed in a house that was built by liquor crates from the Prohibition era. So they experienced a really horrific haunting while they were there, and there was a story behind that haunting, a story of murder, really, that happened a few decades before that. Actually, it was in the 1930s during the heyday of the Prohibition era. And these people were really, really terrified and horrified, and they said they would never go back to St. Pierre again. So this is quite creepy too. The honeymoon ghost. A taxi driver from St. John's found himself with somebody aboard his taxi that was not human. Actually, he delivered him right to central Newfoundland, and it was only afterwards he found out that he had been transporting a ghost, who was the ghost of a bridegroom. So you have to find out what that's about too. Another one, the Mummer's Ghost, which happened at a festival that involved a love triangle as well. The last two stories I talked about were actually love triangles that precipitated the happenings and caused the deaths and so on. Let me see. The moving van ghost. Even movers, private movers, whatever, they've had their experiences, and this one is quite something. He ends up transporting furniture from this woman who's moving, and one of the pieces in the truck is haunted, possessed by the spirit of her husband, who didn't take too kindly to her giving away his furniture. So that's a true story as well. At least it was told to me to be true. There's a story in it about a runner at Conception Bay South who had an otherworld experience. There's a story about the resettlement. There's a spirit from the resettlement period. Quite will really make you think. There are, let me see, the girl on train, little girl on the train. That's a story from the tsunami, the earthquake in Bjorn in 1929. That's a true story from that event. There's a ghost that was supposed to be seen on an escalator at the St. John's Airport, the ghost of a child. So these are just some teasers from all the stories in this book, and there's a lot of stories, as you can see by the size of the book. There's a lot of stories, and there's also fairies in here too, murderous fairies and revengeful fairies. Like I said, it's the second collection of my popular ghost story series, the true non-fiction stories that have been submitted to me. The last collection, which is this one, or I should say the first collection, did so well and is doing so well that it prompted the second collection, which only came out a few weeks ago. This has been published. So I haven't been able to do any publicity or anything for it. I had a launch tentatively planned, but unfortunately, with the events that happened here in St. John's, Newfoundland, and Metro, Mount Pearl, etc., they take the back burner for sure to public health and the safety of everybody. So it'll be a while before I can get around to planning a launch, but when I do look forward to it, and it should be really, really exciting. Jacob Stratton's Passport. That's a kind of it's a ghostly story, but it's a very humanitarian story as well. The story of this hermit. Years ago, people used to call people who lived alone hermits. That word isn't used today, but in this story it is used because I'm telling it from the narrative of the person who told it to me, and her memories and so on. So this old man, and he's passed, and it's quite a creepy story, but it's also a very human story, very humane and compassionate, and a very nice story actually in many ways. There's stories of band leaders going around Newfoundland that had weird experiences. There's all kinds of stories in this book. There's airport experiences, spirits that appeared to people after so many years that they met at airports and are involved in plane crashes and that. So it's quite a diverse collection. And like I said, it involves a lot of modern stories. So it'll certainly whet your appetite and satisfy you if you're in the mood for intriguing ghostly stories in Newfoundland and Labrador. So I just wanted to drop by this evening and tell you about the book. It can be bought anywhere, and it can be ordered anywhere, and you can order it online at Amazon all over the world, Amazon.ca, Amazon.com, Amazon United Kingdom, Amazon Australia, India, all over the world. It can be ordered from Amazon. It's also in paperback and Kindle, so you have the option of ordering it as a paperback like this one, or you can order it as an ebook. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and stay safe, and all the best to everybody. And again, this is my new collection, and I hope you enjoy. Take care. Until next time. Bye-bye.